Chapter 2. Whispers in the Dark. The world around Reinhart seemed to shift as he strode deeper into the forest, the relic's knowledge consuming his thoughts. Shadows danced along the periphery of his vision, taking on sinister forms as he grappled with the truth of what he had uncovered. A cold dread coiled around his heart as the weight of his newfound responsibility settled upon him. He thought back to the day his father had handed him the parchment, his eyes wild and his voice no more than a hoarse whisper. Reinhart had been just a young man then, eager to learn and explore the world. His father's obsession had been an enigma, a curiosity that had driven a wedge between them. But now, as he stared at the parchment in his trembling hands, he understood. His father had not been a madman. He had been a visionary, one who recognized the danger lurking in the shadows of the world. The village elders had long dismissed the ancient civilization that had once ruled the land. They deemed it a myth, a story to frighten children and keep them close to the hearth. But Reinhart knew better. The relic had proven the existence of those who had come before, and it had revealed their downfall at the hands of the very forces they sought to control. As Reinhart walked, his eyes trained on the ground, the voices of the relic whispered in his ears. They were the echoes of the civilization's last moments, their knowledge, and their regrets. He could feel their desperation, their warnings, and their pleas for redemption. They spoke of the power they had unleashed, an ancient and malevolent force that had consumed their world. The words echoed through the darkness, finding resonance within the depths of his soul. The power that had destroyed the ancient civilization was still here, waiting to be discovered and unleashed upon an unsuspecting world. And now, with the relic's knowledge guiding his steps, Reinhart was tasked with the impossible, to confront and contain the darkness that had once brought ruin upon the land. The moon had risen higher in the night sky, casting its cold light through the canopy of branches as Reinhart reached the edge of the forest. He turned back to the village, his expression determined as he considered the path that lay before him. He could not face the darkness alone, for its power had proven too great for those who had come before him. The village elders would need to be convinced, their skepticism replaced with an understanding of the threat that loomed ever closer. They would need to prepare, to rally together against the darkness that sought to engulf their world. And Reinhart, guided by the relic's knowledge, would lead them in their fight. As he set off towards the village, the voices of the relic continued to whisper in his ears, its knowledge intertwining with his own thoughts. Though the task before him seemed insurmountable, Reinhart knew that he could not falter. He would carry the burden of his father's legacy, heeding the warnings that had been passed down through the ages. And perhaps, just perhaps, he could save the world from a similar fate to that of the civilization that once stood on this very soil. For now, though, Reinhart knew that he would need allies, and he would need help to convince the village of the impending danger they faced. The path before him was dark and uncertain, but he was not alone. The relic had chosen him for this task, and its knowledge and whispers would guide him through the darkness to come. And so, with a heavy heart and an unwavering conviction, Reinhart stepped out of the shadows and into the moonlight, prepared to face whatever lay ahead.